The Middle East stands on a knife's edge. For decades, Iran and Israel have waged a shadow war, proxies, assassinations, cyber attacks. But now, in June 2025, the prospect of direct conflict looms larger than ever. The IAEA has declared Iran in breach of nuclear obligations, and Tehran is ramping up enrichment. Israel, emboldened by regional shifts, sees a fleeting chance to strike. The US warns against escalation, signaling it won't join an Israeli offensive, but will defend if Iran retaliates. The world holds its breath as diplomacy teeters and militaries mobilize. A war here would not be contained, it would shatter energy markets and unleash a humanitarian catastrophe. Both sides are driven by deep mistrust and strategic imperatives, making de-escalation increasingly difficult. Understanding how we reach this precipice is crucial for global stability. Before enmity, Iran and Israel were once partners, non-Arab allies of the US, united against Soviet influence and Arab nationalism. The 1979 Iranian Revolution changed everything, turning Iran into a revolutionary Islamic republic and Israel into the Little Satan. Hostility became policy, ending all formal ties and fueling decades of animosity. Iran, unable to confront Israel directly, built a network of proxies, most notably Hezbollah. Israel responded with military campaigns and occupation, entrenching the proxy war dynamic. The 21st century saw the rivalry intensify as Iran's nuclear ambitions grew. Israel, seeing a nuclear Iran as an existential threat, launched sabotage and assassinations. Iran accelerated its nuclear and missile programs, deepening the shadow war. Now, the conflict threatens to erupt into open war, with global consequences. In this volatile climate, war could ignite from a single spark. The most likely trigger, an Israeli preemptive airstrike on Iran's nuclear sites. Iran would retaliate, unleashing missiles and activating proxies, escalating the conflict regionally. Alternatively, a Hezbollah rocket barrage or a border skirmish could spiral out of control. Cyber attacks, crippling power grids or oil terminals, could also serve as a digital trigger. Even a naval incident in the Persian Gulf could draw in global powers. In this tinderbox, any miscalculation could set the region ablaze. Israel and Iran are military opposites. Israel wields technological superiority, Iran relies on numbers and proxies. Israel's air force, missile defenses, and rumored nuclear arsenal give it a qualitative edge. Iran's strength lies in its vast missile and drone arsenals designed to overwhelm defenses. Israel's navy is small but advanced, with submarines rumored to have second strike capability. Iran's naval forces use asymmetric tactics, fast boats, mines, and anti-ship missiles to threaten shipping in the Gulf. In a conflict, Israel would aim for precise, crippling strikes on Iran's strategic assets. Iran would absorb the blow, then retaliate with mass missile barrages and proxy attacks. Israel's challenge destroying deeply buried nuclear sites without US bunker busters. Iran's counter open multiple fronts, targeting Israeli cities and infrastructure. It would be a battle of precision versus saturation, with no easy victor. Both sides would suffer immense losses, the outcome would reshape the region. Iran's greatest asset is its axis of resistance, a network of proxies across Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. Hezbollah, with its vast rocket arsenal and battle-hardened fighters, could open a devastating northern front against Israel. In Syria and Iraq, Iran-backed militias threaten US and Israeli interests, ready to escalate on Tehran's orders. The Houthis in Yemen have already targeted Israel with drones and missiles, adding a distant but real threat. This network allows Iran to strike indirectly, raising the cost of any attack on its soil. Any war would quickly become a multi-front regional conflict, engulfing the Middle East. Iran's proxies ensure the battlefield would stretch far beyond its borders. An Iran-Israel war would send shockwaves worldwide. The Strait of Hormuz, vital for global oil, would be threatened, spiking prices and risking recession. The US would be drawn in if its forces or shipping were attacked, risking direct confrontation with Iran. Russia might back Iran, deepening global divisions. Arab states would face retaliation and political upheaval, straining fragile alliances. Extremist groups would exploit the chaos, spreading instability. The conflict's ripple effects would destabilize economies and security far beyond the Middle East. The greatest tragedy would be the human cost. Airstrikes and missile barrages would devastate cities, Tel Aviv, Haifa, Tehran, forcing millions into shelters. Lebanon and Syria would see mass displacement as infrastructure collapses. In Iran, airstrikes and sanctions would cripple essential services, deepening suffering. A new refugee crisis would overwhelm neighboring countries and strain Europe. The war would traumatize a generation, deepen hatred, and destroy hope for reconciliation. Resources spent on war would rob societies of education, health, and development. The scars would last for generations. Despite the tension, deterrence still holds, barely. Both sides know a full-scale war would be catastrophic with no true winner. Israel fears a multi-front war and economic ruin. Iran fears devastation and regime survival. This mutual fear has kept the conflict in the shadows: assassinations, cyber attacks, proxy battles. But the balance is fragile, and every escalation brings us closer to disaster. Diplomatic talks offer a slim hope, but core issues remain unresolved. The choice is stark: a fragile, imperfect peace, or a war that would consume the region and scar the world. The world watches, hoping reason prevails over ruin.